Okay, minasan. Today we're gonna talk about Kamen Rider Geats episode 23. There is a lot of things to talk about in this episode, especially with the big Nani the F review to us regarding the audience, the DGP, and the management. Where do they actually came from? We learned that they are actually from a distant future. How far ahead we are not sure, and where are they at actually right now? Is this a separate war? Is this a simulated war? We are not sure, because one thing that we learn about time travel is that once you travel to the past, like it's like the action you did in the past is gonna affect the future. Or maybe it could be the case of the Avengers Endgame time travel theory of how when you travel to the past, like, and even though you save the war, it is not gonna affect the future because inherently you have created a new timeline, something like that. It is very similar to Dragon Ball time travel theory rather than Back to the Future theory. So if we are not sure whether or not they actually did travel to the past, because if they actually possess the power of goddess of creation, they can actually create a simulated war. They don't need to create an entirely new war, or they need to go back to the past itself. But just this is the biggest theory that I have, which is they are living in a simulated world. And I remember back in the day, before even the first episode of Kamen Rider Geats actually came out, there are a theory floating around saying that, hey, what if Kamen Rider Geats exists in an MMORPG war? It is not actually the real war, something like that. And that is gonna be really, really insane when it actually happened. And now we are actually seeing a possibility that actually could be true, and I'm really, really excited for that. And another thing that really strengthened my belief in this theory is how Jean actually talked about this war that they are in is a 3.5 dimensional war. Like usually you will call the real war the 3D war, but why do you actually call it the 3.5 dimensional war itself? It almost seems like there's an extra factor that makes it different from the real war, and that is a simulated war possibility itself. And once you come to a simulated war, you might be thinking to yourself, then where does this all the human actually come from? Like, where does the people come from? I have a few theory about this, but my first theory that I have regarding these people in the war itself is that one theory, this is a play on another theory, in a kind of like a reverse psychology of another theory. There's a theory floating around saying that Jin is actually a future descendant of Ukyo S. I feel like this could actually be wrong. Instead of Jin becoming the future descendant of Ukyo S, what if Ukyo S was created based on the DNA of Jin itself? They actually used the DNA of Jin to create Ukyo S, and that is what happened to the rest of the cast we saw in the show itself. Like Baroba DNA was used to create Buffa, and then we also get to see Kekera's DNA being used to create Keiwa and all those stuff. So like all the people that is involved in the DGP, like in this simulated war, are created based on the DNA of the future people. What if that is just a theory? And you might be asking to yourself, like, how then would you explain like how S retained the memory of Mitsune? Like, how did he actually got the memory of Mitsune in his mind when it is kind of like in the data itself? Like they note that Ukyo S mother is not Mitsune but someone else. Then why would S be there looking out for Mitsune becoming his mom? my idea is like something that really interesting is Jin actually talks about how this is not the first time that they're actually doing this. Even Niram and Sumuri actually say something similar as well. Like, this is not actually the first time they did this. They actually did this quite a lot of time already, and they have been moving from different time period over another. First, they started off with maybe the ancient Greece, and they go to the Sengoku period, and now they came to this time period and did the DGP in this time period itself. And this actually makes quite a lot of sense, because remember how S actually says that he has been joining the DGP ever since the first AD, and we learned that the DGP had actually moved from different time period itself. It would actually give us a understanding that what if Ukiyo-S belongs to the ancient Greece time period, and for some reason when they kind of restart the war into a different time period, Ukiyo-S managed to retain his memory when he was still in the ancient Greece time period, something like that. And Mitsune, the reason, and maybe another reason why Mitsune got dethroned, or I'm not sure, did she get promoted or she get demoted as the game navigator? Like, it maybe the reason why Mitsune was being replaced by Sumuri was because Mitsune have some sort of a she have too much of an affection to the people of that time period, because just like what Jin said, they are only supposed to observe. They are not meant to be involved. They are not meant to kind of like disturb the people there that is actually living in that time era. And what if Mitsune try to save the people of Pompeii? You know, like Pompeii is a really big historical event. The volcano exploded, and then a lot of people die. What if Mitsune tried to warn the people, and that was being seen as hindering the cause of the past itself? Like, I know this doesn't make sense, because it actually clashes with my idea of the simulated world, something like that. So I'm not sure. Okay, there has to be a reason why S believe Mitsune is the mother, but we know for a fact that Mitsune, based on the looks of how they are wearing the outfit and all those stuff, it almost seems like that is the period of ancient Greece rather than the period of Sengoku or even the current modern time, something like that. So that is my theory of what is actually happening. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt. Feel free to interject your own theory, feel free to interject your own speculation in the comment as well. But I just want to move on to the next thing that I want to talk about, and that is my video. I actually created a video talking about the significance meaning behind the driver name. I actually talk about the difference between the vision driver and the desire driver, and in that video I actually mentioned about how having a vision is having a plan to achieve your desire. And I find it very it's like very amazing that Yuya Takahashi wrote that the vision driver is the key to activate the power of goddess of creation, because in order for you to make your wish into a reality, you need to have vision. And that is why the player that doesn't have direct access to the goddess of creation, they have to count on the management of DGP, the vision driver person, to help them access the power of goddess of creation itself. So desire is having a strong wish to fulfill something and lacks the ability to do so, but a vision is having a desire and the plan to execute, to make that wish into a reality. So I just love how, like, the driver meaning, even the name of the driver actually holds significant meaning behind it. And I just have to remind all of you, we are actually starting the 4th arc of Kamen Rider Geats right now, starting episode 23. So the divergence has been over, and now we are on separation T. Not sure what does the T actually means, but next episode is gonna be really lit, because next episode we are gonna see a special episode just to explain everything about the DGP, and we are gonna see every single supporter making an appearance, including Kekera. Okay, we're gonna see Kekera, and we're also gonna see Kyun henshin into their rider form. I am really excited to see how it actually turns out, because Barrel Bar's rider form is crazy, man. It is fully animated CG. I'm not so sure whether or not we're gonna see like a normal size barrel bar or not, like a normal armor size barrel bar rider form. I would really love to see that rather than just seeing a full CG character in the screen itself. I know in Avatar Sentai they actually have riders that they have Sentai that is like fully animated when it is in the rider in the Sentai form itself. But Kamen Rider, if you really want to show Barrel Bar as a menacing threat, maybe try not to make her always in CG. I really want to see her suit in like legit practical suit itself. That is gonna be so amazing. But with that being said, let me move on talking about the Vision Driver, and not the Vision Driver, the Zine form, okay? Kamen Rider Zine, and also Kamen Rider Barrel Bar. Kamen Rider Zine, I really love how the power that he possesses is the power to control gravity. In a sense, he is able to control which side is actually his flat surface, something like that. It's almost, it reminds me of the event that is in JoJo Part 6. I like when the priest is actually kind of like evolving into the ultimate form itself. Like it actually affected the gravitational of the wall itself. Like the straight line actually become like a 90 degrees, something like that. So I'm not so sure how to explain it. My English is not that good. I'm not that good with words, but you know what I mean, okay? Like he is able to control his gravity, and he's able to stand on different surfaces, which makes it really cool. But let me just move on to Barrel Bar Rider form. Rider form Barrel Bar, it looks good, I guess. I just like what I said earlier on, hopefully we get to see a practical suit. If not, it is fine. But next we need to talk about something really interesting, and that is the beginning of the episode when Beroba actually enters the chamber of Goddess of Creation. Beroba tried to like ask her wish to be fulfilled, something like that, by the Goddess of Creation, but it fails. And Niram actually says that you need the both Vision Driver from the producer and the game master in order to activate the wish system of Goddess of Creation itself. And Niram actually says that someone actually did this before. So my biggest question is, who the hell did this? Who causes this enhancements of security in the Goddess of Creation room chamber, something like that? And my biggest theory, it could actually be Mitsune. Maybe Mitsune is the one that actually stole the Vision Driver and accessed the chamber of Goddess of Creation and have her own wish to be fulfilled. We are not sure what wish is it. Maybe it is the wish that S will remember her, or maybe S will be reborn in a new world, something like that. I don't know, but this is also another possible theory on how Mitsune actually went missing from the DGP itself. So this is really amazing. I really love it. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it from me regarding this episode of Kamen Rider Geats episode 23. Really excited to watch episode 24 now, because next episode we are gonna learn every single detail regarding the DGP, and I'm all here for it, man. I'm all here for it. Hopefully it is gonna be something smart. I hope it is not something stupid. Yeah, that is all. Hope you enjoy, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. If you make it this far into the video, comment in the comment section below the word. What do you want the word to be this week? I wonder. Let's go with Totoro. I think it's been a while since I used Totoro, so let's go with Totoro. If you make it this far into the video, comment Totoro in the comment section below to let me know you have finished the video, and I'm really excited for episode 24. Goodbye, subscribe if you haven't.